Hey guys, and welcome to another video in this C++ programming tutorial. And in this video we're going to talk about operators and conditions, and I'll show you some different kind of examples of the basic operators and how to set up different conditions and stuff like that, which we're going to use later in later videos. So the first example here is the operators in C and C++, like they're pretty much the same. And the first example here we have is the unary operator, which is just like we can increment or decrement a variable. So if we call, like, for example, x++, then we'll increment that variable by 1, which is the unary operator here if we use these two plus signs. And then we also have like the arithmetic operators that we probably already know, where we can plus and minus and multiply, divide, and the modulo symbol here. And then we have the rational operators, where we can say that a number is less than some other number, or less than or equal to, or not equal to. So like we're going to use these types of operators when we're going to set up conditions for our loops or if statements and stuff like that in later videos. And then we also have the logical operators, where we can say that if one condition is true and another condition is true, like then it will only return true if both conditions is true. Or we can use like the or operator, so only one of the conditions has to be true, or the not operator. And then also like in C and C++, we have like the bitwise operators, where we can like do operation on bits directly. So if we, for example, have a binary number, then we can left shift it by 1 or like right shift it by 2 to multiply and divide and stuff like that. And also just to like flip bits and more about that in later videos. And then we have like the assignment operators and stuff like that, where we just set assign and value to a variable and stuff like that. So like it's just to give like a basic overview over the different operators we have in C and C++, and we're going to use them in all over our programs all the time. So like they're very, very important to know. And also like I just wanted to give you some kind of overview. So the next example here I have is like about conditions and how we can use the operators we saw on the last slide, how we can use them to set up a condition in, for example, an if statement and stuff like that. So in this case we have like C++, it supports the usual logical conditions from just like basic math, and also like just like any other programming language supports. So we can have like the less than, or less than or equal to, greater than. So like just the basic stuff that we went over on the last slide, and I'm going to show you a lot of examples with these kind of conditions and operators in the code when we jump into Sublime Text. And then we can use these conditional statements like if, else, and else if, and switch statements, which we're also going to use a lot in programming in this tutorial, but also in later tutorials. So that's it for the slides. So let's jump into the Sublime Text, and I'll show you some different kind of examples with the operators we have in C and C++. So we're now back into the Sublime Text, and I'm going to show you some different kind of examples of the most used and most important operators, and just how we use them in C++. So in the first example here, we just start with including the IOStream library, which is just a standard library when we're using the functions in C++. And then we're using namespace, so when we're using the function from the standard library, we don't have to type std before every function. So in the first case here, we just declare some variables for the different kind of operators we're going to use. And down here in our main functions, in our main function, we have like the first example is the arithmetic operators, where we can store the multiplication of two numbers when we use this multiply symbol here. And if we just store it in our variable here, multiplying the num1 by num2, which is 9 and 2, and we print out the result, we will indeed get 18, which is correct. So this is like just the basic how we multiply two numbers in C++, and we can also do division by this symbol, and then store it in a new variable, which we just call division. And if we print that out as well, it will return 4, because like the variable is declared with an integer as a data type. So when we divide 9 by 2, it will actually be 4.5, but we have an integer, so we'll round down to 4. So that's why the result is 4 in this case. And then we can also do like the modulus of a number, where we have the first number and then we take the modulo of the second number. And if we print this out, we just print the mod of numbers out. and it will be 1, because if we like 2 will go up in 9 like 4 times, and then the rest will be 1, which is why the modulo of these two numbers is 1. So this is like the basic arithmetic operators, and you probably all already know them. They're pretty like used everywhere and in all programming languages. But this is just to show you how we use them in C++. So the second one here is just like the assignment operator, where you can assign a value to a variable with the equal sign here, and then you can take like the variable and then have like times and set it times equal to a new number. So in this case we set the assign mul to 2, and then we multiply it and set it equal to like 2 times num1, which in this case is 9. So this is like just a short notation. If we, for example, just set assign mul equal to assign mul times num1. So these two lines of code is equivalent. So it's just like kind of a short notation. And if we print this out instead of the arithmetic operators up here, and we print them out, we will get the result, which is 18, which is the same as up here. So we can also like do these kind of assignment operators for like all arithmetic operators. If we just put the sign before the equal sign, or like the assignment sign here. And we can also do multiple multiplication with bitwise operators, or division. If we, for example, had the number 10 here and we make it to a binary number, and we'll left shift it by 1, it will be equal to multiplying with 2. So if we print this out, we can see that the result of bit num will be indeed 20, because we multiplied it by 2, because we left shifted the bits in the binary number by 1. If we, for example, did it with 2, like we will multiply it by 4. So if we print this out, we will then get 4, and if we right shifted them by 1, we will like divide them by 1 and 2. So yeah, that's the assignment operators combined with the bitwise operators and the arithmetic operators, which just comment that out and go down to like the more like comparison operators, where when we're going to use if statements and stuff like that, where we're using the comparison operators. So in the first case here, we're just saying that this is true if the first number is greater than the second number, and the equal number will be true. Like these two variables here are booleans, so they can either be true or false. And in this case, we said like the equal numbers is true if num1 is equal to num2. And if we just go down here and print it out, we can see that if we just print out first bigger first, so it will indeed be 1, because num1 is 9 and num2 is 2, so it is indeed greater than num2. If we print out the equal numbers here, we can see that it will return 0, because it is false. These two numbers are not equal to each other. So like that's how we can use the comparison operators, and then we can use like these variables, or just directly the comparison operators in our if statements and stuff like that. So I'll just comment this out as well. And in the last example here, we have the logical operators, where we can like set up conditions with the comparison operators, and then use the logical operators if there's more conditions that need to be true in a while loop, or like a for loop, or just in a basic if statement. So the first example here is like we just check if it's true. So if the num1 is less than 8 and number 2 is less than 9, so both these conditions need to be true, because we have the and logical operator here. So in this case, if we just print out the first one, is it true, we can see that it is 0, because num1 is 9, so it's not less than 8, so this condition will be false. And if we like just see here, we can also use the not operator, which is also a logical operator. So if we just print this out fast, then we can see like it's the opposite of it is true, because we said it is not, is it true. So in this case, it will indeed be 1, which is correct. And if we just go down here to like use the last logical operator we have, like which is the or here, so only one of the conditions needs to be true for this statement to return true, like this statement to return true. And if we print this variable out, is it true, true 2, we can see that it's 1 because num1 is less than 10 because it's 9. So this condition will be true, and this condition will also like be true because num2 is less than 2. But if we, for example, set less than, if it's less than 1, we can see it will still print out 1, even though this condition will be false. But because we use the OR operator, this condition will be true and this will be false, so it will still return true because only one of the conditions need to be true when we're using the OR logical operator. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Yeah, we've been over like just to give you an overview over the different kind of operators, and you can just go to the slides again and get an overview and a list over the different kind of operators we have. And it's just like kind of basic stuff you just need to know, and we're going to use them a lot in later videos. Like you can't really get over programming without using these types of operators all the time, and we're especially going to use the comparison and logical operators and stuff like that in later videos. So that's it for this video, and I just really appreciate that you're watching these videos, and remember to hit the subscribe button under the video and also the bell notifications so you will get a notification when I upload a new video, and like the video to show like the YouTube algorithm that you like this content and you want more of it in the future. In the next video we're going to talk about like strings and how they work in C++, and they're actually really cool and you can do a lot of cool stuff with them as well. So, and remember to check out the first video I did here in C++ where we talked about variables and different kind of data types, because they're especially important in C++ when we are talking about memory efficiency and fast programs. So I'll link them up here and then you can go check them out, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye for now.